Hello, this is Dhammapada Chapter 4, verse 3, in the consecutive numbering verse 46. Phenupamam kayamimam viditva marichi dhammam abhisambudhano chetvanamarasa papupakani adassanam machura jasagache. Phenu means foam, and upama, if you go back to verse 3:8, upama means a simile or an analogy, and we have the Kakuchupama Sutta, the simile of the saw. Penupamam, so foam-like or analogous to foam. Viditva, having seen or having known. Imam kayam, this body, to be analogous to foam. Foam, of course, just being the bubbles on the surface of the water that will quickly burst and vanish. Marichi dhammam abhisambudhano. Abhisambudhano is having fully understood. It's the ano is an alternative form of an anto for the present participle endings of knowing. So buddhano, just perceiving, understanding, knowing. Sambudhano, sambuddho, fully understanding. Abhisambudhano, the abhu just adds a further emphasis if more is needed. So abhisambudhano means fully, perfectly understanding, really getting it. Chetwana marasa papupakani, sorry. So chetwana, chetwa would be the more normal, having cut the chid and twa, but the lengthening vowel, chetwa. Occasionally you get the twana ending instead of a twa ending. It's just an alternative form of it. So chetwana, having cut the papupakani, the blossoms, that which blossoms forth. The Sanskrit pushpa, meaning a flower, and pushpaka means something that flowers forth, therefore the blossom, and in Pali papupaka. So, and mara, of mara. So chetwana, having cut the papupakani, the ani, the neuter plural, papupakam plural, papupakani, having cut the blossoms of marasa. Adasana machura jasagache. Gache from gum, to go, is a root you all know well. Gum, and you know that it's slightly irregular in the way it forms its present tense. Rather than the more normal and regular gamati, it becomes gachati. And if you ask why, I'm afraid there's nothing better than it just does. It's an irregular verb in that respect. Gachati, he goes. The optative, in other words, let him go, one should go, is he should go, or one should go, is gache. So gache, let him go. Adassanam, the accusative of motion. We have the root, Sanskrit root drish, and that makes the to see, and that makes the verbal noun darsha or darshana, which then in Pali becomes dasana, meaning seeing, simply seeing. So adasana machura jasagache. So gache adasanam, let him go to the non-seeing. Dasana, non-seeing. And that's the accusative of motion. You don't use a preposition here. The non-seeing of Machura Jassa. In Sanskrit, death is mrityu. Mrityu. The same etymology as the more, as in the Latin, more as in mortal, and so on. So mrityu, which then in Pali becomes machu. And the my camera down a bit for you. So the Machuraja is the death king, the king of death, and the genitive Machurajassa of the death king, of the king of death. So gache, let him go, adasanam, to the non-seeing of the king of death, which is how they say, one of the ways that they can say, let him go to a place where he is not seen or cannot be seen by the king of death. Now this word darshan, you actually have it in modern Hindi as well. Seeing. It's a custom they have of just sitting with a guru, some well-known sadhu, will just sit in a certain place, even not necessarily speaking, not necessarily even answering questions, but just to be seen, and the people will go to do darshan of the guru. Guru ke darshanon ke liye jaye. Let us go and have darshan of the guru. Let us go and literally have the seeing, do the seeing of the guru. So that's darshana, Sanskrit dasana, Pali. And going back to Marichi Dhammam, Marichi is a mirage. And the word Dhamma, this overworked word, anything from the teaching of the Buddha down to a thing or a state, where it is the second member of a compound, as here, Marichi Dhamma, it very often has the meaning of having the nature of something. So Marichi Dhamma would mean mirage natured, therefore of the same nature as a mirage. That is why one who, in a abhisambudhano, one who fully understands this body, kayamimam, to be marichidhammam, to be mirage natured. So he understands that the body has the nature of a mirage. And some of you I've shown before, this my face mask, you see, yam kinchi samudaya dhammam, whatever is samudaya dhammam, whatever has the nature of arising, sabbantan nirodha dhammam, all of that has the nature of ceasing. So there we are, we're seeing there the use of dhamma in that same sense of having the nature of. So samudaya, something is samudaya dhamma, it means it has the nature of arising, and nirodha dhamma, it has the nature of ceasing. So I will read this verse through again for you now. Penupamam kayam imam viditva marichi dhammam abhisambudhano chetvanam marasa papuphakani adasanam machurajasa gache. And that is it for Dhammapada chapter 4 verse 3.